banks hacked. Banks have been being hacked quite a bit recently. We have a new U.S. tax bracket that's going to come into effect pretty soon. You want to check that out. And skimpflation is here. You've heard about inflation. You've heard about deflation. What is shrinkflation? And what is skimpflation? We're going to get into that. This is the Foundation current events for October 8th, 2024. I am Sot L, Seeker of Truth L, Speaker of Truth L. And as we do, let's just jump into this. Let's get into these current events. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But in the midst of all the craziness, make sure you check out welcometothefoundation.com. At the minimum, we request that you sign up for the email list. There's the box right there. Boom, boom. Just put it in there. Hit the little button. Go. What I would like to show you today with Welcome to the Foundation, you can check out the YouTube, even though you are right now. We have the documents. We have the contact section. The education is where it's at. If, you are new to private trusts, being private, what are also known as Massachusetts trusts. I've heard all types of renditions. Contract trusts, constitutional trust, common law trust. These ultimately are structures that do not owe their existence to statutory authority. Period. But if you're new to this, we have a few things for you here in the education section. Right here, we got the Foundation Trust Primer. It's over 18 documents handpicked by me personally. I got a lot of questions with regards to, hey, where do I start? I'm just new to the information. I'm kind of familiar with, what I'm now beginning to comprehend as statutory trust. But, where do I start with regards to understanding the type of trust that you're talking about? Because there's a lot of stuff out here where people just really don't know what they're talking about. I'm just gonna be honest. I think there's a lot of gurus out here with regards to trust administration, and then you get into the sovereign citizen movement and it just gets really, really convoluted. But when it comes to a particular understanding and comprehension, where would I start with regards to these private structures, sir? This is it. This is the things that I say to read. I'm going to say this from the jump too. Excuse me. I've read a lot. I've read a lot of law books, a lot of law dictionaries. I own an entire volume, over 100 books of Corpus Juris Secundum, which is a legal encyclopedia. Seriously. And I'm not bragging. It's not to brag. It's terrible moving this stuff. We had a house fire, had to move it out, then move it back in. It's not cool, in my opinion. Kind of nerdy. But I really enjoy reading, and I've read a lot of law. And these would be the things that I would say to read first. And these are the documents. This is where you start, my opinion. After that, if you're still interested, because I think reading, it's not even a thought. It's an actual fact. Reading has a lot to do with, realizing the benefits and understanding and comprehending how to properly administer these structures. Reading is fundamental. Absolutely, it's required. So if you can get through the reading, and a lot of people can, I'm just gonna be honest, a lot of people can't. We got the trust series. It's 3 parts. Part 1, part 2, part 3. These are more of video presentations. It'll allow you to watch the video. You can watch it as many times as you want. Can send it as a DVD. You can get a link, whatever you really want. But, it's an introduction. I would say just to start you out, just to get you square with what this is, what these structures are, where the power, the actual law is with regards to these things. Why are states themselves, Wyoming, Colorado, California, Michigan, why do they not have anything to do with these structures? And how do we stand on that with regards to not only asset protection, but, we get into tax avoidance stuff, and I'm not an attorney. I don't give legal advice, tax advice, or anything. But regardless of what business you're in, you're going to step into some sort of tax realm. Regardless of what you're doing, it has to happen. So these are things that need to be understood. But nonetheless, Trust Series Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3. This is available in the education section at welcometothefoundation.com. How to start your business. Are you ready to start your business? I know a lot of people, it's really psychological, I would say, with regards to starting a business. I believe strongly that we've been taught not to believe in ourselves. And we've been taught not to figure things out, but to ask permission, So I would just say that, believing in yourself is a big thing, and you should, because not only are you luxurious, but you got this, and you can do whatever you want to do. I know this to be a fact. Within the realm of reality, I can't fly, but, I can fly. Just got to get in the plane. Nonetheless, back to task. If you've ever wanted to start a business, you didn't believe you could, you didn't believe you had what it took, you didn't have the requisite knowledge, this is the course for you. From start to finish, articles of organization or incorporation, bylaws, operating agreements, EINs, everything, business plans, executive summaries, as far as you want to go. I know a lot of people, maybe they hit a plateau, they don't know what to do. What do I do next? Opening the bank account. All this stuff is in there. So, I feel it's one of the most comprehensive courses on how to start your own business. Link in the description of this video if you're interested. It's learn at your own pace type of thing. And it's at your leisure. Are you ready to go private? With regards to our trustee training, I believe it is the most comprehensive trustee training available. It's the best. I don't think there's anything better. I haven't seen it anyways. But this learn at your own pace course, teaches you trust administration. And people be like, well, what does that mean? How to administer a trust, how to control it for the benefit of the beneficiaries. And it gets complicated, but ultimately we're talking about asset protection and legal tax avoidance, not illegal tax evasion. A lot of people don't know how to do that. What is it conceptually? It's all begins with how you're structured. The IRS will tell you it's important when you're choosing a business structure. I would say, the most powerful structure is a private structure, a structure that does not owe itself to statutory governance, does not owe its existence to statutory law. And, these are what the wealthy in the world, not just in the country, these are the structures they use, and they know how to administer them, or they have the family wealth necessary to contract or hire managers that are really adept at administering these structures. Most people just get into it for asset protection. Me personally, I would say it's a personal thing. I would also say it's a spiritual thing. And, just short and sweet, the state or the federal government did not give me life and did not give me energy, did not raise me, does not provide food for me. I don't see why the state or the federal government should get a cut of the exchange of my labor, my life energy. And, obviously there's a lot of wealthy, in this country and in the world that agree. If you want to be wealthy, you have to do what the wealthy do. And I'm talking multi-generational wealth. So it's not just us we're discussing. Learn at your own pace course, most comprehensive, most affordable. Link in the description if you're interested. This is not a game. I would say serious inquiries only, because if you're half stepping, you're gonna get shook off. And last but not least, we have the Foundation magazine. It's a luxurious thing. I really like this thing. I really like this magazine. We're coming up on the 1-year anniversary. I have all of the copies but one because it's on back order. Yep, I deal with the back order stuff too. But if you would like to sign up for the digital edition or the print edition, there's a link in the description of this video. And, we appreciate you. We're also doing a giveaway. Check out our Facebook. Nope, not our Facebook. I lied. Check out our Instagram. Foundation Instagram to learn more. CNBC, your tax bracket may increase after 2025. Here's how it could affect your brokerage account. If you're investing in brokerage account, it's important to know how assets can impact your taxes, especially with possible rate increases on the horizon. Without action from Congress, trillions of tax breaks enacted by former President Donald Trump will expire after 2025, including lower federal income tax brackets. Higher rates after 2025 could impact some brokerage accounts since investors pay annual taxes on earnings. If you sell investments that you have owned for 1 year or less, the profits incur, quote, short-term capital gains, end quote, or regular income taxes. The same rule can apply to mutual fund distributions, depending on how long the fund manager owned the underlying asset. There are also implications with regards to lower tax brackets. People say, I don't make that much money. I don't make that much money. It doesn't matter. I would say it does. And we would just look at inflation. How much does it cost to fill up a tank of gas today versus, let's say, 10 years ago? Yep. So if they say, oh, this is the amount that wealthy people make, and they're like, oh, it's $70,000. Within 10 years, you'll probably be making this to that amount due to inflation. This stuff is crazy. I pay attention to Skimpflation. Skimpflation is hard to spot, but berry chantilly cake from Whole Foods can help explain. Bottom line is, it used to be this cake that was made with actual real fruit. Now they're not using the real fruit anymore, and they noticed everyone's up in arms. The reason why I want to point this out, because, sure, it's sort of facetious depending on your perspective, but I just want to show how all sectors of the economy, from people who make a lot of money to people who don't make that much money at all, are feeling this. I'm going to call it a recession. I'm not going to go so far as to call it depression, but, it's not just, the blue collar workers that are dealing with this. It used to be filled with fresh fruit and cream. Quote, it's now just a little English tea cake. Tastes like raspberry jam flavored cleaning product. And we're seeing this all over. This is called skimpflation. Skimpflation is basically where they change ingredients. They may have fresh fruit in the ingredients, and then they change it to some sort of jam or high fructose corn syrup infused jelly. And, they hope that, they hope that people don't notice. And the main thing is because these ingredients, the ones that they switch to, these ingredients are cheaper. It's much cheaper, but they charge the same, and in some cases more, for the product with cheaper ingredients. Skimpflation, 3 major banks go down, leaving thousands without access to funds. And if you read articles, you see stuff like this all the time, right? 3 major banks go down, leaving thousands without access to funds. Didn't Bank of America just do that? And this is Metro, so this is, what is this, London? This is the UK. Scotland, my bad. This is in Scotland. And why does it matter that it's in Scotland? So what does that have to do with us? I would say it's everywhere. And that means something. CNN Business, America's French fry king sounds an alarm. And most people would think, oh, McDonald's. No. McDonald's supplier. Americans are revolting against McDonald's and fast food chains. That's hurting French fry suppliers like Lamb Weston. Okay, so I take issue with the language. Revolting, we're not revolting. We're not revolting. We just don't have the money. We don't have the bread to buy the potatoes. Lamb Weston, the largest producer of French fries in North America and a major supplier to fast food chains, restaurants, and grocery stores, is closing a production plant in Washington State. The whole entire plant, y'all. The company announced last week that it would lay off nearly 400 employees, or 4% of its workforce, and temporarily cut production lines in response to slowing customer demand. Shares of Lamb Weston have dropped 35% this year. The potato giant is oversupplied at a time when demand is sluggish. Restaurant prices in recent years have increased faster than grocery store prices, leading customers to pull back at fast food chains. The shift has taken a toll on Lamb Weston because people are less likely to cook French fries at home. Around 80% of French fries consumed in the United States come from fast food chains. This is according to Lamb Weston. It's not just, what do we say? Bank of America customers report outage, with some seeing zero balances. Okay, this was a couple days ago. I just want to point out that it's happening. It's happening. Excuse me. And I see this to me, this is hacks. We're being hacked. Things are being hacked. Look, Verizon Wireless customers experienced second outage in 1 week. These are hacks, y'all. These are hacks. Home Depot exits 3.2 million square feet of warehouse space in a month. The world's largest home improvement retailer has aggressively trimmed its warehouse portfolio in the past month, kicking more than 3 million square feet back to the market. This is not good. Since the end of August, Home Depot put a 1.3 million square foot warehouse in Phoenix and a 1.1 million square foot distribution center in the Inland Empire up for sublease, according to CoStar Analytics. And I mean, what's happening? What's happening is, excuse me. What's happening is there's no buyers. Sales are plummeting. And if this is how, if their numbers show that they're not selling specific items, they're not going to buy items and hold them for sale. It's a numbers game, and a lot of these companies, they do the numbers dance like annually, but most of them do them quarterly, and I would say even more do them on a monthly basis. They look at numbers and they do adjustments to purchases, adjustments to sales, adjustments to staffing. And, the reduction in sales overall in commercial real estate is not doing well at this time. And, if you know, moving forward, Canada posts 6 straight monthly trade deficit in August. 6 straight monthly trade deficit. Excuse me. This is North America, y'all. People, that's a whole different country. Listen. It's a connected country. It occupies the exact same continent. You can drive there, is what I'm trying to tell you. You don't have to fly. You can drive there. You don't have to swim, boat, bike, ski, nothing. You can drive there. This is affecting the world, the economy, and then this stuff with the, these wars, cyber attacks. Pepsi trims revenue outlook as North American snacking key international markets lag. This is a large company. Pepsi lowered its full year outlook for organic revenue after its second straight quarter of weaker than expected sales. It's not just one company. It's not just 10 companies. It's many, 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 many companies. Meanwhile, Costco's gold bars are fly off shelves as bullion prices smash records. And then you got Costco adds platinum bars to its precious metals lineup. I don't know. What does that tell you? Real money is silver and gold, precious metals, collectible cars, collectible art, diamonds, emeralds, true assets. Real wealth is held in true assets. And I think a growing number of people are realizing this. And it's important that I point this out to y'all. I think it's very important. And gold and silver is not going to save your life. And people say you can't eat silver when your family's hungry. No, that's true. There are other things that need to come into play. But, if you go to the bank and you can't get money out of the bank, if you have some platinum, if you have some silver, if you have some gold, you have options. If you have some cash, honestly, you have options. If you don't have anything but that debit card and those credit cards and that change, in the ashtray in your car, you don't have very many options. And I'm not saying to go out and spend all your money and stuff. I would say dollar cost average. And what that means is, whether it's every 2 weeks or every month, you find a dollar amount that's good with you, whether it's $10, $20, $100, I don't care. And you consistently acquire silver and gold with that amount. So if it's every month, it's 100, and that's not going to hurt. It's not going to take money out of my children's mouth. I might not be able to buy, some vanity stuff, but that's cool because I understand what that means. If you just do $100 every single month and you just go buy silver, $100, go buy silver, 100. So you're going to purchase silver and gold 12 times a year. And that's just what you do. I guarantee you, I'm telling you, if you do that consistently and with dedication, I guarantee you there will come a time where you appreciated that you did that. There will come a time where you are so happy that you did that. There will come a time where you will be so thankful, and there may be, your family members, people around you may be thankful that you did that. You got to have options. That's all I'm saying. Don't go all in on anything, any one thing. No. But you got to have options. Credit card spending growth is slowing. Consumers have been in a pretty frugal mood. And that's what I'm going to say. All this circular talk is what I'll call it right now, right? People are revolting against fast food. Consumers have been in a pretty frugal mood. This is what happens when you have a central bank fiat currency run by a central bank. And is it central? Yeah. But it's definitely fiat currency, right? And the central bank committee feels as though prices are rising too fast, which means demand is not keeping up. Supply is not keeping up with demand. So they raised the federal funds rate in a debt-based fiat currency system, which really what it does is it makes the costs of cash, the fiat cash, more expensive. And in a debt-based system, it makes bills more expensive, especially, credit bills, any loan bills, mortgage bills, car bills, credit card bills. All of these bills that we have become more expensive out of nowhere. So we have less money to buy other things. So when we all stop buying the other things, the prices begin to reduce because there's less demand for the same supply. And then these federal central bankers slap themselves on the back and say, we beat inflation. It's a soft landing. Inflation is cooling. When they control the money supply, make it more expensive to use the money, make it more expensive to pay bills, so we buy less. And then say that we're in a frugal mood. Why are we in a frugal mood? Revolving debt, which mostly includes credit card balances, fell 1.2% in August compared to a year earlier, according to the Federal Reserve. Non-revolving debt, such as auto loans and student loans, rose 3.3% with this high interest rates. After a prolonged period of high inflation and sky-high interest rates, spending habits are adjusting, according to Ted Rossman. Now you understand what they're talking about after I just explained what I said. Spending habits are adjusting. Why are our spending habits adjusting? Consumers have been in a pretty frugal mood lately. Credit cards are also one of the most expensive ways to borrow money. The average credit card currently charges more than 20%, near an all-time high. Quote, the big fork in the road, whether or not you carry a balance. End quote. Rossman said cardholders who pay their bill in full every month reap the benefits of cash back and travel rewards without paying interest. Cardholders carrying debt from month to month put themselves at risk of getting trapped in an expensive debt cycle. That is the absolute truth. I'm going to read it again. Cardholders who pay their bill in full every month reap the benefits of cash back and travel rewards without paying interest. Cardholders carrying debt from month to month, not paying it off every month. That's what gets us. Quote, consumer spending is good for the economy, but it's not good for your personal finances if you're carrying debt and paying a hefty interest rate. End quote. This irritates me. You can tell, right? This is why we need to stay informed. This is why we do this. There's a lot of stuff that we're not informed of that we need to know. And, most passionately, I would say private trust administration. It's okay. Anyways, American Water, the largest water utility in the U.S., is targeted by a cyber attack. I'm telling you, we're being hacked, man. They're just not coming out with it because I don't think the hacks are that crazy. The Microsoft, where all the Microsoft computers went down, and that, man, listen, it's frequent enough to where anyone who knows, anyone in tech can see what's happening. These are hacks, man. At least with this one, they say it. The largest regulated water and wastewater utility company in the United States announced that it is the victim of a cyber attack. It's been attacked. Cyber attacked, prompting the firm to pause billing to customers. New Jersey-based American Water, which provides service to more than 14 million people in 14 states and on 18 military installations, said it became aware of the unauthorized activity last week on Thursday and immediately took protective steps, including shutting down certain systems. The company does not believe its facilities or operations were impacted by the attack, and said staffers were working around the clock to investigate the nature and scope of the attack. They don't even know. Water utility American Water disconnects computers following cyber security incident. They don't even know. And the FBI said that there is latent malware and spyware all throughout the United States in systems for dams and electricity and all of this stuff. The FBI said it. You should look it up if you don't believe. But it's nothing to be freaked out about. It's nothing to, in my opinion, feel anxious or allow anxiousness to be induced. We just need to be aware so we can make the proper decisions. Listen, if you're walking down the street and you're not paying attention, and you're crossing the street and you're not paying attention, you're unaware. You may be the victim. But if you're paying attention, if I'm aware and I see what's going on and I see the traffic and how it's moving and how fast it's moving and so on and so forth, I can make a more informed decision. And yeah, there may be a perspective of, the scary traffic, and there's people who stand there and think about the worst case scenario, so on and so forth. And I'm just not one of those people. I need the information so I can make an informed decision. I'm not going to stress over the information. I'm not going to freak out over the information. I believe fear is best combated by knowledge. I can't say anything else. So, when we do these current events, I'm not trying to, fear monger anyone. These are the things that I feel like we need to know. And, I provide the articles so you know it's not coming from me. I'm not just sitting here making things up, trying to think of some things and so on and so forth. I have a plethora. I have, an enormous, vat of articles and news and stuff to pull from if I'm trying to be, on some fearmonger stuff. This is informational. We need to make the right decisions. With that being said, y'all enjoy yourself. Take care of yourself. Make sure you say 10 things that you're thankful for before you go to sleep tonight and every night. It's very important. And I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace, y'all.